look around until I found someone who laughs like you.
Did you say hi to the people? She's a little grumpy today. Let's say hi. Say, I haven't seen you guys in 30 whole days. Say, I'm the queen of resting viewer face. What did you learn from 30 days with no social media, Jelly? You didn't post for all of your fans. Yeah? Cool. Today's the day. I made it 30 whole days without using any social media at all. And it's kind of crazy. It's really weird to think about that today's the day. January went by super duper fast. Can you hear Jelly's toy? Jelly, what are you doing? Come here, girl. You want to say hi to all the people? Come here. Oh no, don't bite me. Jelly the bean. They're all gonna see how you really are. They're not gonna be your friend anymore. What? Are you wanting to play? I don't want to play mean. It's not nice. It's not nice. You're being a meanie. I know. And everyone can see that you're being a meanie. Is that how you want to reflect yourself on the internet? That you're a big meanie? I made it. I went 30 days without any social media and I decided to make a video about it. I just wanted to make a quick video about why I did it and what I learned from having, if I learned anything, from having no social media for 30 days. If anybody watches this, awesome. But if not, I just wanted to kind of document it for myself, and if I get tempted to kind of fall back into using social media as a crutch, I can just look back on it. I've always been this way where I like looking back on things. I'm into journaling and documenting things, looking back and seeing my growth and seeing my progress, because I'll read old diaries and stuff and it's like I'll have problems that at the time I thought I never could ever deal with or overcome, and then I'll read them like a couple years later and it's like, wow, that's not even an issue for me anymore. In the beginning I was a little kind of frustrated because I thought I wasn't doing as good as I could have. So why I did it. I love new beginnings. I know that New Year's Eve and New Year's resolutions, some people think they're annoying. Some people are kind of 50-50 on New Year's resolutions. Either you really, really like them or you really, really think they're annoying. For me, I'm a very goal-oriented person, and if I have concrete goals that I'm striving for, or even if they're more abstract goals that I'm striving for, I like to have something that I'm working towards. And last year I did the 5K every month goal, and that was freaking awesome, and I'm making a video all about that, so I'm excited about that. It got me out of my comfort zone. I look back on that and I just see so much growth that had nothing to do with running, which is crazy. I remember my first 5K by myself, I was so anxious for some reason, and I didn't even want to go to a new city by myself. The idea of just like finding parking by myself, which sounds so pathetic, but it made my anxiety so bad because normally I always had like my family with me and stuff like that. Through that challenge, I had so much kind of internal growth that had nothing to do with running. So I loved that. So every year in the beginning, I try to come up with a goal like that. I have different categories, and some of them are fitness, some of them are more spiritual, some of them are emotional, just financial. I had a lot of those this year. The point of almost all of my goals is to make me happier and healthier, or to reach a level of, I don't want to say success, but just personal growth that I didn't have the year before. And for 2019, I honestly killed it. I'm not even gonna lie. I wasn't perfect, but I did a lot of the things that I said I wanted to strive to do. Seasons in life where we need to do kind of an entire overhaul of there's a lot we got to change, you know? And then I think there's also seasons in life where we just need to accept ourselves, or we need to pat ourselves on the back for doing a freaking awesome job. And 2020 for me was a year of, I did pretty good. I kind of want to keep on the path that I did for 2019, but I just want to add to it. But the one big thing that I was like, I need to drastically change was my social media use. And just a little disclaimer, I don't think social media is bad. I really don't. I think it gets a bad rep. It's time consuming. I think it can distract you from the present. I think it can make you procrastinate. It can make you feel overwhelmed. It can detach you from reality. I also think that it can cultivate in real life friendships. It can cultivate support. It can allow you to meet people who are different from you. It can allow you to find people who are like you, like find things that you like and find groups and things like that. You can be very uplifting on social media. So like everything in life, I just stress balance and moderation. Unless it's like meth or crack, you pretty much are gonna be good with moderation. And I don't say that to insult anyone addicted to that, because that's a real problem and I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just saying. I would not recommend you use moderation with methamphetamines. They ruin lives. So balance is really hard for me. And that word gets thrown around a lot, but it's like, what does it even mean? And I think sometimes you don't really know until you take away things that aren't good for you. So I don't think social media is bad, but I think it's how you use it. And I think it's all about balance and moderation. And it's all about surrounding yourself with people who have your best interest in heart and lift you up. And I'm not saying that people need to be positive all the time, because they don't. And toxic positivity is absolutely a thing. But if you're on something compulsively, if you're on your phone for hours at a time, you really don't want it to be a negative thing that you're looking at. You really don't want it to be something, even if it's not inherently negative, it makes you feel bad about yourself. It's just, at the end of the day, it's all about balance. But sometimes you don't know what that balance is until you take away the thing that's bad for you. So I realized that social media had power over me. And I realized that because I started thinking, like, what are things that I could cut out of my life that would be beneficial? And so I was like, well, I'm on social media a lot, and people kind of make fun of me for that sometimes. And like, I hear comments all the time of, oh my God, I see you on Facebook all the time and things like that. And it's true. I was on social media all the time. And I had other goals that my social media use was affecting. So I wanted to get out of bed earlier. I would sit for an hour and a half on my phone on Facebook every single day, or Instagram. I wanted to feel more at peace. That's my main goal every single year, is to just feel at peace and to honor my peace and just really protect my peace. Take that really seriously, because I have an anxiety disorder and I have to be vigilant with my peace. And I noticed that a lot of social media was doing the opposite of that. I would see people say hateful things, and even if it wasn't directly towards me, it was like, just that energy of what they were saying was contagious, and I felt that. Or I would see other people post about like really serious problems or this and that. I'm not saying that you can't do that, again, balance and moderation, but it was impacting me in a way that was making me angry and frustrated and sad, and I wasn't at peace. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut out social media for 30 days. So I've tried in the past, this is sad, but I have tried to cut out Facebook for 4 or 5 hours, couldn't do it. Immediately download the app back on my phone. I tried to cut out Instagram, couldn't do it. Immediately downloaded the app back on my phone. So I was honestly really intimidated, and I thought, do I want to go public with this? Like, do I want to tell people that I'm doing this? Because then if I mess up, I'm the only one who knows, and that kind of gives me an out. The fact that I was having these conversations in my brain, it was like, holy crap, Haley, you need to do this. I don't like throwing the word addiction around, because addiction is serious and addiction ruins people's lives, but very similar circumstances, I personally think. Similar to the way it made my brain chemicals happy, to the way I felt Like I absolutely couldn't go without it. And that was honestly scary to me. So when I realized that, I was like, I gotta do this. This obviously has power over me. And I don't want anything in my life to ever have power over me. But I really don't want a freaking phone app to have power over me. So I decided to do it. I really didn't think that I could do it, but I decided to do it and I did it. But something in me just changed and it was like, I'm gonna do it. So I don't know. I think curiosity is a really big motivator for me. I wanted to discover things about myself that I wasn't able to discover because I was addicted to my phone screen. I wanted to be able to see, okay, I know how my mental health is when I'm on this all the time, and I know how my peace is when I'm on this all the time. How is it whenever I'm not? So that was a huge motivating factor for me because it was like, I've never done this before. Let's see. It's 30 days. Let's see if it really even does anything. The very first 2 weeks, I got the flu. Thanks, Taylor. Probably a blessing and a curse because I was so out of it that I really didn't even want to be on my phone. I just wanted to sleep for like 5 days straight. So I didn't really have that intense urge that I thought I was gonna have. And so maybe just getting past that first week or two made my urges go down. I don't know. I wasn't tempted really ever to break it, but I was like, I missed it whenever I had the flu because I was like, I'm alone. I feel like shit. I can't complain into the void and I can't like get sympathy from people online. Like, I'm just being real with you. That would have been nice. I wanted to complain and hear people be like, oh, I'm sorry, your life sucks. So what happened? My Alexa just turned on and I didn't ask for her. Alexa, did you think when I said my life sucks that I was asking for you because I wasn't? And that's creepy. But yeah, so I was sick. I felt like crap. I slept most of that time. So I really didn't really want to be on my phone. But I did want to complain into the void and I wanted people to know I was sick. So that in of itself kind of made me question, on a psychological standpoint, why do I need people to know that I'm sick? Why do I need people to have sympathy for me? I don't have a huge answer to that question. It's probably just because I'm a human being and I want people to love me. But that was just the beginning of just introspective questions throughout this process. But so you didn't miss much from those 2 weeks. And then the rest of the 30 days, I know this is cheesy, but I actually vlogged it. And I know, I hate that word. It sounds so corny, but it is what it is. So I'm not gonna go into detail about how everything was because I want you guys to actually watch that video. I put a lot of freaking work into it. I have taught myself Premiere Pro and it is really complicated. So you should watch it. That's why I did it, just to summarize. So I didn't want it to have power over me. I wanted to prove that I could. I honestly, part of me just wanted a clean, fresh start on all of my social media outlets. I just wanted to, I don't know, just kind of a clean slate from what I had been posting and just feel like I had a new beginning on my Facebook and my Instagram and all of that. I thought I got on everyone's nerves. And so I was like, well, if I take a month off, maybe people won't think I'm the most obnoxious person alive. Then I just want to talk to you guys about what I learned because I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot anyway. The first couple of weeks I started doubting myself and I started being like, you haven't learned anything. Oh, this isn't really making as big of an impact as I thought that it was. I'm not being as productive as I thought I should be. I started journaling about it during the 30 days. And I didn't keep up with it as much as I probably should, but I realized that I was being kind of hard on myself because I cleaned out my closets. I did like 6 loads of laundry in a day. I went hiking. I learned a new skill. I started learning Premiere Pro. I did all this stuff. And so I guess the first thing that happened was I became a lot more productive. You don't realize how much time your phone is taking up until you don't use it as much anymore. And then it's like, I have like 4 more hours in my day to do stuff. I cooked all meals at home for part of it. I just got a lot more productive. I went hiking. I started editing videos for the first time in literally like 8 to 9 years. I was a multimedia journalism major at OSU for 2 years before I switched, and I love that stuff. It's just fun, but I haven't picked up my camera in literally like 8-ish years because I don't know, I thought I wasn't good enough. But yeah, so I learned a new skill, or like I started to. I got a freaking new job. Like, what? I did a lot, and I really don't think I would have done those things had I not put social media away. I explained this to Taylor with like the most ridiculous analogy, or whatever you want to call it, ever, metaphor. My brain is an onion, right? And it's like the first layer, or I guess not my brain, but my attention span is like an onion. And the first layer, I know the word pleasure sounds gross, but it's like pleasure sensors in the brain and all of those neurotransmitter happy chemicals. When those go off, that's like when your boredom stops and you see something exciting, or you're happy, or see something funny. What my attention span would do is just try to peel the onion back, but it would only stop at that easiest to access onion layer. This is making no sense, but just stick with me. The outside layer was social media, okay? I could get social interaction. I could see new people. There was just so much. It was like every time I opened that app, there was something new. It was exciting. It killed my loneliness. It killed my boredom immediately with like very little effort from me. All the other layers of the onion, which is like cleaning my house or being productive, fighting out of my comfort zone and going to go for coffee with a real human being, or learning a new skill, going outside. All of those onion layers that were deeper in the onion, they took more effort to reach to. So even though they also would make me happy and break my boredom and make me less lonely, they were all fulfilling things, but I never would reach them because my brain was lazy. My brain and my attention span was lazy, and it would go to the first thing that would make me happy with as little effort as possible, and that was social media. So then what happens whenever you peel that outside onion layer away? Then your brain, mine anyway, can start, okay, that really easy to access happiness onion peel is out of the way, so now I'm gonna have to work a little harder to cut my boredom and cut my loneliness. But the benefit of that is going for it and learning a new thing, putting up your laundry, doing this, doing that. And so that like ridiculous metaphor is exactly what happened to me this whole 30 days. The second thing was so much clarity. I realized that onion metaphor, and I knew that kind of for a while, but it made it so much clearer when I was able to take that outside peel away, because that outside layer of the onion was my comfort zone, and it was easy and it didn't take any effort. And so when I ripped that away, I started seeing so many things more clearly. Being introspective and analyzing the way I think and analyzing my behavioral patterns, that also took effort. And so it also was inside of the onion. In order to get there and to learn new things, I had to take away the thing that was taking all of my focus and all of my time. The third thing was I learned how much I didn't need it. Today I got on Facebook, and what was crazy is I didn't feel like I even wanted to, which blows my mind, because usually my morning routine was every single morning I would immediately open that app and I would immediately open Instagram right after that. And this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, today's the day. But I didn't feel like I needed to look at it. The first post was pretty positive, second post was pretty good, and then it was just like, I literally felt bombarded with stress and crap. The stuff people was posting, it wasn't even that bad. I mean, like, some of them were kind of bad and really, really sad and depressing, but not all of it was. It was just all of that information. My brain was like, oh, we don't want that this early in the morning. I didn't care to scroll. I started scrolling a little bit and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like how this makes me feel. And so I stopped. I can get on any social media I want, and I'm literally putting my phone away. What in the world? It ties into that clarity. I think just the biggest thing that I took away from this was clarity and realizing what I need to be happy, what I need to be peaceful, what I need for my mental health in terms of loneliness and depression and anxiety. I learned all of that just from deleting an app from my phone. You don't realize how bad something is affecting you until you take it away. I learned how much it was impacting me at all. And it was like that icky feeling that I felt sometimes, that I kind of knew it was Facebook and social media, and just feeling overstimulated and just overwhelmed in my brain. I didn't realize it was that bad until I had a break and I came back. I'm not gonna give up social media as a whole, but I think I'm probably gonna unfollow quite a bit of people, delete quite a bit of people, and just cultivate an experience that's a little more pleasant for me, and we'll see how it goes. But I definitely don't think I'm gonna be spending hours on it like I was in the beginning. I learned more about my social anxiety and how much I was using social media as a crutch. I didn't think that I was, but I was, because I got really lonely really fast. The first 3 weeks, the first 1 to 2 weeks weren't bad, and then week 3 my mental health just tanked. But my OCD hates change and it hates loneliness. It really just manifests not nice things whenever I'm lonely and whenever my brain's not occupied. Week 3 is when loneliness and my OCD really set in. I'll be honest, I didn't ask a friend to go get lunch with me or anything. I wish that I would have, but that in of itself, it taught me how much I was relying on social media as a distraction. It taught me how much I was relying on it to not feel lonely. And don't get me wrong, I freaking love alone time. I'm super introverted. I am comfortable alone. It brought clarity again on how much alone time I need before I start getting symptomatic with my OCD and my anxiety and my depression. And it allowed me to kind of brainstorm ways that I can counteract that without using Facebook. I learned that I can read. I just have to really work at it. Not like I can read. I know how to read, obviously, but that I can read books and stuff. I fell in love with articles online that were educational. I started reading magazines all the time. What I learned was that I love learning. And so I read a lot. I read cookbooks. I read fiction books, nonfiction books, magazines. I subscribed to podcasts. I subscribed to different email newsletters about finances and just all sorts of stuff. I subscribed to more positive newsletters. I just really loved learning. I started learning Premiere Pro editing. I started learning about my DSLR camera. There was just so much that I started learning about, and it was my brain really likes that. I really do like learning. But because it took more effort than Facebook was just a wall in between all of those, more educational things. My sleep got so much better. My night routine was solid. I didn't stay up all night on my phone. And then in the morning, whenever I woke up, I wasn't on my phone for an hour, 2 hours before I got out of bed. I started my mornings in a more happy place. I started a gratitude practice. So every night before bed, I started a gratitude journal and I list 10 things that I'm thankful for, and then 5 daily affirmations. At nighttime, instead of just being on my phone the whole time, I wanted to do more nurturing, creative things like that. My creative side just really came out, honestly, and it was just really good. I got outside more. I learned that I am responsible for my own lack of boredom. That is kind of the takeaway from all of this, is that I learned to stop being lazy whenever it comes to keeping myself entertained. And I learned to keep myself entertained with things that'll help me grow. And Facebook doesn't always help you grow, but I'm sure there's going to be a million other things that I think of after this video is done, but those were the big things. And like I said, I did vlog the entire last half of the month whenever I didn't have the flu, so I will upload that soon if you guys are interested. I hope that if anyone watches this video that they got something from it. I'm kind of a rambler. Oh, I started a Zumba class. I did get a little more physically social. I did get out of my comfort zone. I started going to Zumba at I almost said the Colvin, but it's not the Colvin anymore. The gym that's on my new college campus, and I freaking loved it. I was there just on accident pretty much. I was trying to work out. It's a really small gym. and they nicely kicked me out because they had to do class in that area, and I fell in love with it, and it's been the highlight of literally every week this month besides when I was super sick, just getting together with these girls that are super sweet and silly and just dance ridiculous for 2 hours a week. I don't think I would have had that motivation if I was just on my phone the whole time. Because honestly, my motivation to just do things and personal growth skyrocketed during this month. I was so excited to just be able to do things and just learn new things and break out of my comfort zone. And honestly, I learned a lot. I learned that while social media isn't bad, that the dose of it I was taking was way too much for me, and that it was impacting me in a way that wasn't healthy. I learned that you guys don't, I mean, I'm sure some of you do, but for the most part, you guys don't think I'm just an annoying, obnoxious blob. Because what's crazy is I got on Facebook today and so many people left me like the nicest comments on my page. And I was just like, what? Like, part of the reason I got off of social media was so that I didn't drive everyone crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. And seeing all those uplifting messages like we miss you and stuff like that, I was pretty stoked about it. I won't even lie. So this video was horrible, but I hope that you liked it. And I hope that you guys just take a week or take 2 weeks, take 30 days, I don't know, of social media just to see what happens. I think part of me, it was like the social scientist in me. I just really wanted to know what in the world would happen to my mind and my body after those 30 days. And I'm really impressed with it. I did discover a lot of things. I was kind of bummed at first that I wasn't, but I was. It just made me so much more introspective and insightful about what I need and what I don't need to keep my peace. And I think that that's awesome. And I think that everyone deserves to feel at peace. And if there's something in your life, even if it's not toxic, but it's taking away from your peace, you have every right in the freaking universe to take a break from it or kick it to the curb. So I hope that you feel empowered to do that. I was gonna grab Jelly, but she's gone. I love you guys. I hope you have a super awesome weekend, and you will see more from me soon if you're into that sort of thing, because I'm trying to branch out of my comfort zone and be more creative. So you're welcome. Bye.
I'll look around until I find